Okay, let's talk about some of the latest things going on with Rex Heuermann and the wild accusations flying around about his daughter Victoria Heuermann. So, experts are completely blasting these claims that Victoria had anything to do with the Gilgo Beach unalivings. They are calling the idea beyond preposterous. Attorney John Ray held this really dramatic press conference, showing off what he called sadistic and demonic artwork created by Victoria. But experts are like, hold up, this is sensational nonsense. Enzo Yaksic, who runs the Atypical Homicide Research Group, told Newsweek that he's never seen anything like this press conference in his 20 years of researching serial unalivings. He said nothing shown translates into the propensity to commit violence. So basically what he said is that it's all smoke and no fire. Meanwhile, Rex Heuermann, who is the 60-year-old architect that was first arrested in July of 2023, showed absolutely no emotion as he was charged with 2 more unalivings, the unalivings of Sandra Costella and Jessica Taylor. This guy is already accused of unaliving 4 women who were found in burlap sacks along Ocean Parkway over a decade ago. And this is the Gilgo 4, so Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, Amberlynn Costello, and Maureen Bernard Barnes. A forensic psychologist named Eric Hickey chimed in too and said just because Victoria had some macabre paintings posted, does it mean that she was involved in the unalivings? He told Newsweek that it's highly unlikely. During the press conference, Ray was out here claiming that Rex did not lead a double life and that his family, especially Victoria, knew all about the unalivings and even helped. But Dr. Gary Bricado, who was another forensic psychologist, mentioned that about 20% of serial unalivers do operate in groups, but then also suggested that Victoria's behavior could just be normalization from being around such dark stuff. Bricado even floated the idea that Victoria could have Stockholm Syndrome, where you develop a psychological bond with your captor or abuser. And Hickey shot down the idea that Heuermann's family even knew anything about Rex's alleged actions. He said the father could have influenced his daughter's interest in dark themes without her knowing that he was actually an unaliver. So my take on all this is that I struggle with it, because someone who enjoys macabre art and media, it doesn't make them a criminal. If that were the case, all of us true crime fans would really be in trouble. But at the same time, some of the edgy stuff she allegedly looked up and reposted deserves a side eye, deserves a huge side eye. Because as someone who looks these things up all the time, who looks up crime, who looks up creepy things, weird facts, I live my life on Reddit half the time. I never come across some of the things she allegedly reposted. These things are dark and they definitely need to be looked into, even if it's just to get her some help. Honestly, it's all circumstantial, but her Tumblr account is weird AF. Without seeing all of the facts myself, I don't know if she's just leaning into these dark themes for attention, or if she's genuinely morbid and really needs some attention from a therapist and from someone professional who can help her through these things. So also remember that Rex handed over his assets to his wife Asa when he was arrested, which is really just the house. And that could go to the families of the victims in civil suits. If Ray were to sue on behalf of the victims, he would need to show that the family knew about wrongful death and they did nothing to stop it, which would make them legally liable. The standard of proof in civil court is much lower than in criminal court. It seems like John Ray might be trying to get them to sue so he could just depose them endlessly also. If so, that's honestly a really risky game that he's playing, but he seems really confident. And in my opinion, John Ray is really into outrage farming, which is old news, and he needs to find a new hobby. Accusing someone of involvement or knowledge in serial unalivings is defamatory. accusing someone of a deviance of that degree of some of the things that were posted and reshared is defamatory. Showcasing someone's private internet history to humiliate them when they weren't even born when their father started his unaliving spree is unethical, and John Ray should know better. But until law enforcement confirms anything, I think we all need to stop with wild accusations. There are so many victims wrapped up in this case, and if Victoria and her mother had nothing to do with this, and they really were just family, and they really were just on the sidelines, and he was leading a double life, then they are also victims in this as well. And I don't know how else to word that other than wait for the trial, wait for evidence to come out. If there are things there, you have to trust that law enforcement will find them. I know that that's hard, but we have to wait for either the public court of opinion or the actual jury to come out and say, hey, there was evidence here and we think these crimes were committed. Honestly, what do you guys think? Do you think it's all sensational nonsense, or do you think there's some more to this story? Let me know what you think in the comments.